benvenuti, buongiorno. We've just arrived in Como, Lake Como, which is in the north of Italy. And after a rather stressful border cross...
Basically, they took our passport, they took our your driving licence, then they wanted proof of the car documents.
Then we didn't see him for 10 minutes.
Then he went off with it. And then he came back and he swabbed your hands.
Yeah, he asked if rubbed this paper on my... Both hands or one?
Both hands it was.
Yeah.
He said, can I see your hands? And then he said, are you on any medication?
Yeah.
And then he not swabbed it, it was like a piece of paper that he just rubbed on his palms, both his palms. And then he went off for like 10 minutes again. And it was actually quite scary.
Yeah, that was quite strange.
We had a guy just staring at us.
Yeah, watching us.
Just to make sure we didn't drive off.
And another drive through the Italian hills and traffic. I've decided that I'm gonna have a night off. I didn't bring the camera out with me. And well, for a couple of reasons really. We've noticed that it's very hazy here. I don't know if it's because it's been very cold and all of a sudden it's got a lot warmer, but I'm not quite sure. But anyway, I didn't bother bringing the camera out, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and set myself a little challenge, and I'm going to try and shoot with my phone, and I'm going to try and get one photo with my phone. So let's see how we get on, eh? It is nice here though, Lake Como, it's beautiful. Yeah, there's a nice sunset as well. So that might be involved. So this morning I've woken up and I've tried to get as high as possible up the hill from the AirBnB where we're staying. Now where I'm staying is, without me trying to refocus the camera, you might be able to see Laura's red car. That's where we're staying, this sort of closest house. And what I want to try and do is include that in today's panorama. So this huge range of mountains here is just sort of shrouded in cloud at the top, and there's a break, and it looks like it's about to clear as the sun is rising from behind them. If that happens, I'm going to be on hand to snap a really nice panorama with the car in it. So this could be one for the wall. So these mountains, the mountain range behind me is called the Hohgant. I'm not sure how you say it. Famous for Emmental cheese. I love Emmental cheese, mainly because it's got the word mental in it. Minute on minute, and the cloud is clearing, so I can see I can completely see the tops of this range, the Hohgant range now. And now even so that there's a little bit of light, a little bit of sunlight kissing the tops. So I'm wondering whether to wait a little bit longer and see if this light that's coming in from the east to my left will just illuminate the mist in front of me. It could end up with a nasty flare on the lens, but yeah, I'm just going to wait it out a little bit longer because I can see the sun. It's going to rise through these clouds in a minute. Later on today, we are heading to a place called Interlaken. For those of you that have been to this neck of the woods, you'll know how special that place is. And then we're heading on to Grindelwald. Now, why I'm really excited to head there, I'm going to get to see the Eiger. Now the famous north face of the Eiger is, I think, visible from Grindelwald. On a day like this, when the sun's clearing, when the cloud is clearing, I think it's going to look magical. So I don't think my mountain photography is finished for the day. I'm still waiting for this mist to illuminate. It might never happen, but it's just surreal. I'm going to look back on this video one day and think, I cannot believe that my Airbnb place is just down there. That's our Airbnb there. And there's Laura's little car. And she's in bed there in that window. Oh, I think I've just heard a wolf. Oh my God, where am I? That was pretty exhilarating. The last half an hour, 20 minutes since I last spoke to you has just been amazing. The light has been amazing. This fog that's hanging in the valley keeps rising and falling. 1 second you're shrouded in cloud and another second it drops. It's just amazing, and what I thought would happen did. The sun, I don't know how it happened, but there must have been a window of cloud, and it burst through here and it lit up all of, well, not all of, but little sections of the mist that was hanging as well. Got the tips of the summits of the Hohgant, which have been illuminated as well.
It's fun to be right.
But I'm going to go and wake up Laura now because I feel like a little excited puppy. I just want to get down to Interlaken now and Grindelwald and Thun, because the mountains are majestic. That's the word I'm going to use. Majestic. That's another 1,000 metres higher. That doesn't look it, but it is. Let me just summarise. These mountains are massive. Right, time to wake up the wife. I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I think I'm too close to the mountains to get anything. Oh, they're literally on top of you, aren't they?
Yeah, they're like towering over.
Yeah, and it's so, I don't know what the word is. These mountains are huge, they're giants, they are giants. 4,000 metres high, which is halfway up Everest. And I struggle with Ben Nevis and Snowdon. I struggle with the Malverns. So trying to comprehend how big the Eiger is just too big for my little head. Anyway, so we're off to Interlaken. We're going to get some coffee and cake soon. Yeah, we're going to sit down here. We found a spot we like. And then I think in Interlaken might have a little bit more success looking south towards these giants. But just look at that. Amazing. So as much as Grindelwald is amazing, there it is with the Eiger behind me. It's really difficult to shoot it because Grindelwald is north of the Eiger. So midday shooting obviously doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that you'll be shooting right into the sun. So it's quite difficult to actually get a good shot. So what we're doing is we're heading back to, well, we haven't been there yet, but we're heading to Interlaken. And what might happen is we might get a more epic view of the mountains because you're really having to crick your neck here. You feel like you're in New York City looking at the skyscrapers. This is way better than New York. Well, depending on your preference. My preference is mountains over skyscrapers any day. So a bit of a last minute decision. We've decided to take the funicular. We've actually didn't plan this at all. We've just come upon this funicular railway on our journey back to accommodate. Oh, GoPro's gone, time lapse is ruined. And we've decided to head up the funicular, and we hope at the top we're going to get a really nice view of the Eiger, which I really want to get. Not necessarily the Eiger on its own, obviously it's in a nice little collection of 4,000 metre plus mountains. So I'm hoping that we'll get a nice little vista. We really want a panorama for the wall in our lounge. So we're hoping that we'll be able to get something. And the conditions are good. There's sort of patchy clouds, nice blue sky, so I'll obviously need that polarizer. I could even use the big stop, but I haven't even used that at all this trip. So we're quite excited to see how the views are going to look. Well, I think I'm going to go now. I think I have what I need. So
Okay.
It's really kind of you to let me up here. So
It's all right.
thank you so much.
It's
And I'll see you again soon. I'll send you a link. So I've just been on private property, but the lady whose land I was on was called Judith, and she was the most loveliest person ever. She was so kind, and I was obviously respectful and realised that I was on private property. I didn't realise that. And she said, no, carry on, enjoy the mountains. And she said I could stay all night if I wanted to. But I've stayed didn't want to overstay my welcome. And I've managed to get some really nice shots. So in turn, Judith actually runs a website which has lots of information, lots of cool stuff. So she's actually shown me one of her time lapses that she's done of the valley overlooking the mountains. So I managed to get my shot, managed to get my panorama. So Judith, if you're watching, thank you so much. I hope you like the picture, and thank you again for letting me use your front garden to take a picture. Just thinking about what just happened, and that was so nice. That could have gone one of two ways really. If someone was on your private property with a camera, how would you probably feel? So I feel really, really pleased and humbled that she was so nice to me. So, and when that's happened, that's sort of given me a kick on now to do better photography and speak to people in a nicer way and be more respectful of other people. So, but I think if anything does happen like that for you when you're shooting, just be nice, don't be arrogant, don't be, typical photographers say, well, I deserve to be here, I've got rights, you don't have to give all that sort of stuff. But if I could bottle this feeling now, I think I'd be a millionaire.
How can I express